What if I told you that before YU MENGLONG's mysterious death, he recorded a secret video, one that was never meant for the public? A video where he spoke about a hidden art project, something so strange and symbolic that it could explain everything: his sudden disappearance, the odd messages, and even the strange exhibits found beneath Kihao Art Museum. In this video, Yu's voice trembled, his eyes darted around like he was being watched. But what was he trying to confess? And who was he really speaking to? Stick around, because in this video, we'll uncover YU MENGLONG's final confession, decode the hidden meaning behind his mysterious secret art project, and reveal the chilling truth that may connect his art to his death. YU MENGLONG's name still sends shivers down the spine of fans and art lovers across China. Once a beloved actor and singer known for his calm demeanor and gentle smile, his death left behind more questions than answers. But now, an unearthed video has reignited the mystery, a video found inside a damaged hard drive in his Beijing apartment, labeled only with 3 haunting words: the final project. According to close insiders, the video was filmed just 8 days before his supposed death, and what it contains is enough to make even the most skeptical viewers rethink everything they knew about YU MENGLONG's final days. In the video, Yu is seen sitting in a dimly lit room surrounded by unfinished paintings. The light flickers intermittently, as though something was interfering with the electricity. His voice is low, almost whispering, as if afraid that someone might overhear. "I'm not supposed to show this," he says. "They told me not to film, not to tell anyone. But art must speak, even if I can't anymore." He pauses, looks down, and breathes shakily before continuing. "If you're watching this, it means I couldn't finish it. But you'll find it in the basement. Under the gallery." That single phrase, "under the gallery," has sent fans, investigators, and conspiracy theorists into a frenzy. Could he have been referring to the Kihao Art Museum, the same museum where rumors claim his preserved body was found soaked in formalin? As more of the video surfaced online, strange details began to emerge. On Yu's easel, a painting could be seen, a haunting image of a faceless man standing in front of a mirror. Behind him, faint silhouettes of shadowy figures loomed in the background, barely visible under the dripping paint. But what caught viewers' attention wasn't just the painting, it was what lay hidden beneath it. When the brightness was enhanced by a digital analyst, faint markings became visible on the frame of the canvas, coordinates. Real ones. They led directly to the restricted basement area of Kihao Art Museum. When police and museum officials were questioned about it, their responses only made the mystery darker. "There's no such basement," one spokesperson claimed, but leaked blueprints tell another story, an off-limits section, sealed years ago, labeled Project Q17. Now, here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. Sources close to Yu revealed that before his death, he was working on a project funded by a mysterious sponsor known only as the Collector. No one ever saw the Collector's face. All communication was done through encrypted messages and unsigned letters. The only thing known about him was his obsession with art that captures the soul. Yu once told a friend, he doesn't want beauty. He wants eternity. In the confession video, Yu continues, he said the art must live forever. That it must not decay. He said, there's a way to preserve it, not just the image, but the essence. I didn't believe him until I saw it. He trembles visibly and glances behind the camera, whispering something barely audible, "They're watching." Then, for a chilling few seconds, the audio distorts, replaced by static. But when the sound returns, Yu looks different, distant, pale, as though drained. "If something happens to me, tell them the project was never just art," he says, staring directly into the lens. "It's alive." The internet exploded after this clip went viral. Forums filled with wild theories. Was the art project actually an experiment? Was Yu involved in some kind of secret preservation technique, one that might have been used on his own body? Some believe the art that lives forever was not metaphorical, that YU MENGLONG had stumbled upon a forbidden experiment linking human consciousness with visual art. A chilling claim, but when experts examined one of his last known paintings titled The Stillness of Light, they found something strange, a pattern of brushstrokes that, when digitally enhanced, revealed hidden text beneath the paint layers. The words read, "The art watches back." One of Yu's old collaborators, an art technician named Li Shun, came forward in an anonymous online interview. His voice was disguised, but his story matched many details from the leaked footage. He said Yu became increasingly paranoid during the last weeks of his life. He said he could hear voices when he painted. That the paintings weren't his anymore, they were controlling what he painted. At first, I thought it was exhaustion, but then, he showed me the project. According to Lee, the project wasn't just a painting, it was an installation. A fusion of light, sound, and preserved organic material, though Lee refused to specify what kind. He said it had to be real, that it had to feel alive, Lee whispered. And when he switched the light on, I swear to you, something moved. In the last portion of Yu's video confession, he appears to have lost all composure. His eyes are red, his hands trembling. I thought art was about creation, he mutters. But he, the collector, said true art must consume. He said if I wanted to be immortal, I had to give more than my work. He holds up a vial of clear liquid, which fans later speculated was formalin, the same substance allegedly found in the museum basement. He said this preserves more than the body, Yu whispers. It preserves the soul. Suddenly, the lights flicker violently, and a shadow crosses behind him. Yu glances over his shoulder, frozen. No, he begins, but the screen cuts to black. That's the last anyone ever saw of him alive. Days later, on September 11th, YU MENGLONG was reported dead under mysterious circumstances. The official cause, cardiac arrest. But what makes it suspicious is that his body wasn't immediately released to his family. Instead, it was held for preservation. When the story broke that a preserved body matching his description was discovered months later beneath the Qihao Art Museum, fans couldn't ignore the connection to his final video. And here's where it gets even stranger. When investigators reopened the sealed basement, they found half-finished installations that matched the descriptions from Yu's confession. Murals painted with distorted human silhouettes. Sculptures molded from unknown materials that seemed too organic. And in the center of the room, a broken glass tank. Empty, except for one object resting inside, YU MENGLONG'S missing camera. When experts restored the footage, they discovered corrupted files labeled sequentially, Art Project 1, Art Project 2, and the final file, Art Project Completion. But when the last file was played, the screen went white for exactly 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Then a faint figure appeared, blurry, unrecognizable, but the voice that spoke was unmistakable. Do you understand now? It whispered. I am the project. Some say it was an AI-generated artifact, a digital glitch. Others believe it was Yu's voice, captured and preserved in the very medium he warned about, art that lives forever. But the museum denies everything. They've sealed the basement again, citing hazardous conditions. Yet visitors have reported strange phenomena when passing near the restricted area, a soft humming, like a recording playing on a loop. Some claim to hear faint whispers saying, "Finish it." Was YU MENGLONG trying to expose something before his death, or was he already too deep in a project that consumed him entirely? The more we learn, the more disturbing it gets. Every brushstroke, every hidden message, every whisper from the past, it all paints one terrifying picture. That YU MENGLONG may not have just created art, he might have become it. Before his death, Yu wrote one final message in his private diary, which was later recovered by a family friend. The words were simple, yet haunting. If my art survives me, then maybe I was never gone. Was this the poetic farewell of an artist, or a coded warning about what truly happened to him? Fans across the world are divided. Some believe Yu's project was a metaphor for fame, how celebrities are immortalized by the public, turned into living exhibits even after they die. Others think it's far darker, that his collector was real, and that Yu was forced into a terrifying experiment disguised as art. Whatever the truth is, one thing remains undeniable. YU MENGLONG'S final confession video wasn't just an artistic statement, it was a cry for help wrapped in beauty and horror. And maybe, just maybe, he knew that one day, the world would finally watch it. Because now that we have, we can't unsee it. If you've made it this far, you now know that YU MENGLONG'S death wasn't just a tragic ending, it's a story that might still be unfolding in the dark corners of Qihao Art Museum. Do you think Yu was trying to expose something dangerous? Or was he creating something beyond human comprehension? They said art imitates life, but in YU MENGLONG'S case, his art may have consumed it. After the leak of his chilling video confession titled The Final Project, the internet has been burning with questions. Why did you look so terrified? What exactly was he hiding in the Qihao Art Museum basement? And most importantly, what did he mean when he said, "The art must live forever"? Let's take you deeper into this mystery, beyond what the public knows. Because new witnesses, disturbing leaks, and eerie details about Yu's final days have begun surfacing, and what they reveal might change everything we thought we knew about his death. It all started 2 weeks before his passing. YU MENGLONG was last seen alive leaving his private art studio in Chaoyang. Security cameras captured him wearing a long black coat, carrying a small wooden box tightly in his hands. That box, according to his assistant, contained something he called the seed of eternity. No one knew what he meant by that phrase until now. A close associate, who requested anonymity, revealed that Yu had been obsessed with creating something that could preserve emotion itself. He wasn't painting anymore, he was experimenting. Late nights, strange chemicals, eerie blue lights flashing under the studio door. Sometimes, neighbors said they heard him speaking softly to himself, or to someone else. When asked, Yu would only smile faintly and say, "You'll meet them soon." The night before he died, Yu reportedly sent a series of encrypted voice notes to a fellow artist friend. Those files were never made public until a leaked version surfaced on a dark forum just last week. In the first recording, Yu's voice is calm, almost peaceful. "It's almost complete," he says. "Once it's installed, the gallery will breathe." But in the second voice note, his tone shifts. His breathing is shallow. "They came tonight," he whispers. "They said I don't understand what I've made. But I do. It's not theirs anymore, it's mine. And then, chillingly, if I don't survive, tell them, it's awake." That was the last message he ever sent. 3 days after his death, museum workers at Qihao Art Museum began reporting strange incidents. Security alarms went off randomly, motion sensors detected movement in sealed rooms, and one night guard swore he saw the faint outline of a man standing behind one of the glass installations, though the room was locked from the outside. The museum brushed it off as electrical interference. But visitors later began posting about a strange new piece displayed temporarily in the main hall before it was quickly removed. It was a tall, glass-covered frame. Behind it, what appeared to be swirling patterns of dried paint and ash forming a faint human shape. It was labeled simply, "The Breath of Stillness." Several witnesses claimed that when they stared at it for too long, they could feel their chest tighten as though the art was breathing with them. Sound impossible? Maybe. But according to a technician who worked at the museum, that piece was moved from a private collection labeled Project Q17, the same code found in YU MENGLONG's final video. And then came the biggest twist, a deleted clip from Yu's confession that was recently restored by data recovery experts. In this never-before-seen segment, Yu stands in front of an unfinished sculpture made of glass and fluid-filled tubes. Behind him, faint humming can be heard not from machines, but from something organic. He turns to the camera and says quietly, "Art and life are not separate anymore. I wanted to create beauty that doesn't fade, but I didn't realize beauty needs to feed." His expression becomes distant, almost empty. He said, "Once it's complete, I won't have to act anymore. I'll simply exist." Fans believe this statement refers to the collector, the mysterious patron you mentioned before. Some theorize that the collector isn't a person at all, but a coded name for a secret research group experimenting with merging biological preservation and art. Others go further, claiming Yu's project wasn't just a metaphor, it was a ritual. Now here's where it gets even more terrifying. During a quiet restoration session, a museum cleaner named Mai, who later spoke anonymously online, claimed she heard a faint tapping sound from behind one of the sealed walls. Thinking it was a rodent, she leaned closer, and that's when she heard it. A low, rhythmic breathing. She swore that when she turned off her flashlight, the sound grew louder, followed by a faint, trembling voice whispering her name even though she'd never told anyone she worked in that section. When she reported the incident, she was immediately reassigned to another wing of the museum. The next week, she resigned without notice. Online investigators have since analyzed Yu's unfinished works and discovered recurring symbols hidden across his paintings: spirals, concentric circles, and what appears to be a human silhouette dissolving into lines. Art analysts call it visual coding, the deliberate embedding of messages or signals inside artwork using brushstroke patterns and texture alignment. When processed digitally, those symbols seem to form words. One of them reads, "Still here." Another one, found hidden in a self-portrait, reads, "Complete me." Now imagine, could you have left those messages intentionally? As if his consciousness, or a fragment of it, was embedded into his art. A few weeks ago, a short clip began circulating online, allegedly taken by a worker inside the restricted Qihao basement. It shows a dimly lit corridor lined with covered canvases. The camera shakes as the person filming whispers nervously. Then, in the far end of the hallway, a faint figure can be seen standing still. The camera zooms in, and for a split second, you can make out YU MENGLONG's face, or at least something that looks eerily like him, frozen mid-motion, eyes open, mouth half-formed into a smile. Moments later, the video cuts off. Skeptics call it a deepfake. Others say it's proof YU MENGLONG never truly left. But what can't be denied is that this piece, the final project, may be the most disturbing work of art ever created. But let's not forget one key moment from his final video confession, a line many missed at first because it was buried under distortion. When the footage was restored, experts found faint words overlaying the static. "The museum will finish what I started." This line has fueled a whole new theory that the Qihao Art Museum isn't just a gallery, but the continuation of YU's secret experiment. Insiders claim the museum's basement lights are kept on at all times, even when closed. The official reason? To preserve temperature-sensitive installations. But those who've worked there whisper a different story, that the lights are left on because something reacts when the room is dark. So, what was YU really trying to do? Was he creating a timeless masterpiece or a doorway between life and art? Did his obsession drive him to self-destruction, or did he uncover something humanity was never meant to find? What if the collector was not a man but a force, an unseen energy that YU accidentally awakened through his experiments? And what if, in his desperate attempt to preserve his art, he ended up preserving himself in a way none of us can fully understand? Think about it. Every time someone stares at his art, whispers are heard, shadows shift, lights flicker. It's as if YU's presence still lingers, drawn to the attention of those who look at what he left behind. Maybe he wanted to be remembered. Or maybe he wanted to be reborn. The most spine-chilling part. Recent renovations at Qihao Art Museum uncovered a small sealed note inside one of YU's preserved canvases. The note had only 5 words written in his handwriting. "You are part of it." Whether that's a final warning, an invitation, or a curse, no one knows. But one thing is certain, YU MENGLONG'S secret art project wasn't just about creativity. It was about transcendence, the price of blending humanity and immortality through art. And that's what makes this story so haunting. Because maybe YU wasn't killed for what he did, maybe he became what he created. If you've watched this far, congratulations, you've stepped deep into one of the most mysterious and chilling stories in modern entertainment history. But what do you think? Was YU MENGLONG'S secret art project a coded warning about how far obsession can go? Or do you believe he truly uncovered something supernatural that still echoes through the walls of Qihao Art Museum? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your theories. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more mysterious celebrity investigations, dark secrets, and shocking revelations that the world needs to hear. Because this story is far from over. Next time, we'll dive into the leaked voice of the collector, and you won't believe what he said about YU MENGLONG'S immortal creation.